Welcome to Fear Babes Podcast, a podcast made for Fear Fam members by Fear Fam members.
We would like to remind you that Fear Babes Podcast is not affiliated with the Project Fear crew in any way.
Everything we discuss on this podcast is strictly our own opinions.
My name is Madeline.
My name is Burgundy.
My name is Jamie.
And we are the Fear Babes.
Hey, my name is Berg. Welcome. We like buttholes. Madeline. Why'd you put that on the Google Docs?
I didn't.
Oh my god. You're so bad. I didn't. We don't actually like buttholes, just talking about butthole antennas, really. That's as far as that goes.
It's true.
It's pretty funny to talk about buttholes.
It is.
It is.
It's true. So welcome back to Fear Babes.
You got it. You did it. You made it here.
Kind of early on a Saturday morning, and we're fresh off of seeing each other a fucking week ago. Can you believe that?
No.
1 week ago today, we were all together. Did you say don't talk to me? That's fucking rude.
Yeah, because it makes me depressed, you fucking weenie.
I know.
Fucking weenie.
But it was fun, right?
It was so much fun.
I want to do it again.
It's so sad.
Yeah,
I mean, last night watching the episode, I was like, I miss my people.
Where's my girls at?
Where my girls at? My ghouls.
I think that's the hardest part about these trips is that we go, we're looking forward to it for like months, and then all of a sudden it happens, and then it's gone, and it's like, bro, I'm so fucking depressed right now.
You know, it is. It is just like that. It's like we hype it up. We're like, yeah, it's gonna be great. We get to see each other again. Obviously, we love that. And then you get there, and then you're like, we're all together, and then it's over, and it fucking sucks.
We're all together.
Is that not how we were? I feel like that's exactly how we were.
Oh yeah.
Exact, yeah, actually.
Summed it up pretty well.
Oh yeah. We were definitely like that. We were kind of crazy. We were having a good time.
We always have a good time.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Extra good time this time.
An extra good time. Yeah, I mean, last week we did a I'm like losing my words. Last week
We recorded with Wiley.
yes, we recorded with Wiley
I'm so sad.
and Joe the weenie that eats empanadas.
Oh my god. Y'all, like, don't get offended by his dumb.
By his dumb.
He's like, I just had empanadas. And I'm like, you had what? Would you like to say that again?
Empanadas.
Empanadas?
I will
Yes.
forever call them that now.
Right?
Incorrect. It's not correct, sir.
Empanadas. Yeah, and then Ringer decided to be a jerk and cut off literally like the last end, like what was it, almost 15 minutes worth of audio?
Yeah, it was 15
Because we
minutes.
recorded for almost an hour.
We recorded for over an hour, didn't we?
It might have been. It was really
no.
close to an hour. Like it might have been an hour and 3 minutes. It was really close to it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really upset because, like, obviously we didn't have time to listen to the whole thing. Like, we listened to most of it, and then we're like, we got to go do stuff. And then we came back, and we listened to it, and we're like, fuck, that shit cut off.
It was funny, Jay, because Mads and I are just sitting there in the room after you guys left, obviously, the next day. And we were just listening to it and laughing at ourselves. And then it's just nothing. We were both like, what the fuck? And we were like, were we listening to it on YouTube? We were like, maybe it's just a YouTube problem. So we hop on the Spotify on Mads' phone, and same thing. And we were like, motherfucker.
Mother trucker, dude. That hurt like a butt cheek on a stick.
That hurt like a butt cheek on a stick.
Love that. Love that. So, Jersey was a blast, and I miss you guys already. And can't wait till we see each other again.
Countdown days.
It's so hard to only see each other like twice a year.
Once every 6 months, basically.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not.
I'm thankful that we can figure that out because it could be worse.
Yeah,
But I also wish it was more often.
yeah, I really do.
Fucking sucks.
I agree.
But we live in like completely different parts of the country, which is so weird. And I got kind of sappy yesterday about it.
I know. Did you see my comment? Rude.
I did. I did. I made a post in Fear Club, so if you're not subscribed to Fear Club, you so should be. But yeah, I got a little bit sappy because it truly is just like so crazy that a fucking TV show brought us all together. And like I started going down this whole like rabbit hole of if I didn't watch this episode of Ghost Adventures and I didn't see Dakota and I thought I had to follow him, I would never be where I am right now. Like it has completely changed my life.
Wild,
my
huh?
entire life.
It's so crazy to think about.
Like think about it.
No, go ahead.
Like
Sorry,
literally in like a couple years ago, I was just like vibing. I don't even know what the fuck I was doing. Like just doing things. But now I'm like, we have a podcast together. We go on all these trips. Like that's a big part of my life. Like talking to you guys all the time. You guys are some of my best friends. And it's just unbelievable that a TV show. Did you
hear that, bro? She said some of my best friends.
Who the fuck are we fighting, bro? No, it's just us and Cece.
I know, it was a joke.
I was waiting for Mads to list off more people because I think there's more than
that. I do have more than that, but
sorry guys, didn't mean to offend anyone if that did. It's like one of those things when somebody's like, "This is my best friend," you're like, "No, it's my best friend. Don't touch it."
I have a lot more best friends. Wiley, my Wiley.
So many
Dale.
Wileys. If your name's Riley, you're automatically cool.
I know, right? She's gonna listen to this and she's gonna be like, "Yes,
got you, boo."
But adorable. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like my brain's not braining right now, but it's just wild to think that looking back on this year as a whole, if I didn't have the Project Fear show and I didn't have you guys, there would be a big chunk of this year missing. So,
yeah,
you see what I mean? Like,
wild.
I don't know. It's just kind of crazy to think about. So
the more you think about it, the like crazier it feels.
Yeah,
for real.
I know. So we got 2 new girls at work while I was gone. So
what the fuck? You weren't even gone that long.
I know. We move quickly at Phoenix Capital Group. I'm the trainer, right? So I had to go. I had to go introduce myself, and I was like, because they were sharing an office, so I was just talking to both of them, and I was like, yeah, so just bear with me, because I've been gone for the week, so I don't know if I know what the fuck I'm doing right now. Because you know how it is when you come back to work after a week, you're like, wait, what? Yes. And they were like, oh, where'd you go? And I was like, I went to a paranormal convention. And they were like, what? That's so cool. And I was like, oh, you're into it? Okay, so let me break this down for you. So there's this show that I watch, and then I have a podcast for it. And then so blah, 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 blah. They were like, I have so many paranormal questions for you. I'm like, cool, I'll be here all forever. So we have time. But I was like, be prepared crazy? Because Aubrey, Shay, Sabrina, they all listen to the podcast. We talk about it quite frequently. Shay watches Project Fear now. So I was like, yeah, so we talk about it a lot, so you probably hear about it a lot. So anyways, and they're like, what's the name of your podcast? And I was like, Fear Babes.
Fear Babes.
Oh my God. I had another family friend reach out, and she was like, I follow your Fear Babes podcast. And aww. I was like, what? Like, it's like, I can't even use words. Like, it's just unbelievable how many people in my personal life are like, oh my God, it's a Fear Babe. And I was like, what?
It's
Thank
cute.
you.
What?
Well,
Everybody,
like,
thank you.
so when Aubrey and I made the shirts, the Fear Babes shirts, so if you're at the convention, you know the shirts. We watched Project Fear while we were making it because she's like, I want to watch, but I won't watch by myself. So I was like, well, we're together. Let's watch it. Ha ha. And she's like ironing her stuff on the shirt, and she's like staring at the computer. I was like, oh, don't burn the shirts, man. She's like, oh, she's like, I'm so hooked now, and I was like, you're welcome.
Damn straight. Damn straight you are.
So that's why I told you guys. I was like, when you come to Wyoming, we're gonna have to swing by the office so you can meet your fans.
That's funny.
Like, you think it's funny, but I'm actually kind of not joking.
No, I know, and it's crazy because I'm like, what are you like? What? It's just the fact that people like listening to us, and I'm like, why?
I know. It's funny to me because I'm like, we're just fucking weird. Like that's really just it. Like I showed everybody the videos of us standing in line, and I'm like, this is literally what we're like all the time. This is it.
All the time.
We're just McGoofy stupids.
Weird.
And before we move on to another topic, I would like to say, if you were at JerseyCon or New Jersey Para-Unity, I'll use the proper name, and you supported us in any way, you waved at us when you're walking down the hall, you said something to us about our podcast, you know, you bought our merch. We are mind blown by that, honestly. Like I was like, this is wild to me. And we love you and appreciate you so much. So shout out to all of you.
Shout out, homies, because that shit is crazy. Thank you for supporting us.
That was
We
wild.
don't know why you like us, but we're here anyway.
Thank you
Butthole.
for loving me.
Thank you for loving us. Yeah.
I thought maybe I should start singing a song from Moana, but I was like, no, probably not.
Which one? What can I say except you're welcome?
Yep. That could be the one, though.
I sing that all the time to people.
Me too.
You're welcome.
Me too.
You're welcome.
It's almost like you guys are besties or something.
Oh,
It's almost like we share
That's
one
wild.
single brain cell.
we kind of do though.
We kind of do.
Anything else we want to discuss about Jersey before we get into what we're really doing on this podcast?
I would if I could remember most of it.
I just did finger guns, by the way, but you can't see me, so I just wanted you to know that I did that.
Finger gun.
Well, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Okay, so without further ado, Jamie, take it away.
Well, Fear Babes listeners, we've got the most important person of Project Fear here right now. You ready for this? It's fucking Conna.
Yo! Yeah, I'm not that important, honestly.
You are the most famous person we will ever get on the podcast. Let's be
That part
really-
is true. That part's true.
Mhm. This is peak entertainment. We will never get better than this.
Never.
Yeah, in terms of just pure famous guy,
Yep.
you're not getting better than this. But in terms of important, I don't know. Maybe not that important.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Don't know
Whatever
about
you
that.
want to say, Conna. Whatever you want to say.
All I want to say is that was quite the introduction. Thank you. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
I'm a big fan of you guys. I'm a big fan of you guys' podcast. I listen to it like every single week. It's great. I listen to it on my walks, like to and from work. It was the best listening to it like after I'd like edit it all day and I throw on you guys' podcast and hear you guys talk about last week's episode. I'm like, ooh, this is good. What should, what are the people thinking? And I don't know, you guys just have great energy. It's just fun. So I'm a big fan. Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I love how you're like saying that. You're like, what are the people thinking? But Connor, we're not people. We're just weirdos.
Sure, I'm sorry. That's my bad. Totally forgot about that.
I have the most important question known to man.
Okay.
Right.
Let's do
Conna,
it.
did you receive your trophy?
We
Yes.
we deemed them, like when we gave them to them, we were like, Fear Babes presents the Golden Weenie Awards.
Yes.
So that's what that is. A Golden
The
Weenie
golden-
Award.
Oh, it's beautiful. That's a great idea. So yes,
So
we all got the trophies. Thank you.
you're welcome. Is it true you can't do the splits then?
I would like to move on to the next question, please.
Would you like to redeem yourself and out Alex on something first?
Yeah, I mean, man, let's talk about Al. Let's talk about all the things he can't do. Let's start with number one. Dude can't eat a piece of sushi.
What?
Oh.
No, Al doesn't like seafood. I think this is a pretty well-known fact. Maybe it's not well-known, but he
What?
cannot do seafood.
Wow.
I know, right? Like, wow. Al, grow up.
That's what I was gonna say.
Get
Grow
over
up.
yourself.
Jeez Louise.
No,
do you
we have tried. We've tried multiple times, like going out to sushi, and he just can't do it. And I'm like, man, you're missing out. And he knows. He's well aware. But hey, if I can't do the splits and we have to make that information public, that's embarrassing. The dude can't even eat a piece of sushi.
Yeah, that's way more embarrassing.
Mhm.
Super. Actual facts.
What a weenie.
Does he
An
do it?
actual weenie.
Is he all dramatic about it? And he's like, "Eh," like when he's trying to eat it and stuff.
Oh, you know Al. You
He
know
full Al.
exactly that's what he's doing.
He goes full Al about it.
Full Uncle Al mode. He's gagging. He's spitting everywhere. He's pissing. He's doing it all. And we're like, come on. Eat the sushi. It's salmon.
What a child.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah, this isn't. We're changing the title. We're changing everything we already had planned. This is the Bash Alex episode. Connor is here and he's ready to fight.
Connor's here and he's out for blood, dude.
Here he comes.
Here comes.
Buckle
Who
up,
else?
Al.
Who else? Should we talk shit on Tanner? Should we talk shit on Dakota?
No,
Let's
we
go.
love Tanner.
Okay,
Tanner
me
is
too, 'cause
second in
I
line
was,
to you.
I was
Yeah.
not ready to talk shit on Tanner.
Okay, good. It goes Connor and then Tanner, and then we can talk shit on Al and Dak. It's fine.
All right, sweet. Sounds like we're on the same page here.
Yeah. Especially, you can't talk shit on Tanner, especially after last night's episode.
Yeah, true. He became my actual father in that episode.
Gave a whole new meaning to daddy, right?
Yeah,
He did.
Aw.
Yeah, BDT
BDT.
But that's what
Really?
I'm saying.
really shined.
That's what he
last night.
does. He
Oh,
actually
I-
becomes the father.
I felt his BDT next to me.
You felt it.
It was up close. It was personal.
Love
On the
that.
real, though, it was great having him there.
I'm glad
it was-
he came through for you.
Me too.
He absolutely did. I don't even know. I feel like the whole situation, if it was Dakota, it would have been fine. If it was Alex, it would have been fine. But like, I don't know. There's something about Tanner that just
Mhm.
it just worked. It just
Yeah.
absolutely worked.
He just embodies that BDT energy.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's not false.
Not false.
Before we get into questions, Connor, I do want to say that you did a great job in the Crescent episodes. I don't know how you're so
Thank you.
fucking brave because it's your first night and you're like, yeah, I'll just be handcuffed to a fucking jail cell, whatever. Like what? Like what?
Dude,
I would have fought
no,
so
like,
hard.
Dude, okay. So like I think it was pure adrenaline that was pushing me through the night because like part of me was legitimately excited. I'm like, oh, like this really sucks for Chelsea, but this is gonna be really, really fun. I'll have my first time doing an overnight. Didn't really think anything of it. And then yeah, the moment I got handcuffed or the moment that I drew, Callender's cell, actually honestly, the moment I realized I needed to sleep alone, I was like, okay, wait a second. I totally forgot I have to do this. But yeah, the moment I drew Callender's cell, I was like, okay, what does this actually mean? Like my mind like just didn't even work. And then sitting there is when it all like sunk in and I'm like, oh. It was really tough. It was not fun at all.
No.
Did it well though.
Thank you. It was not fun at the moment, but overall I can look back on it and be like,
Yeah.
it's kind of fun. Kind of fun thinking about it.
Would you
Now
do
that
it
I made
again?
it through.
Would I do that specific scenario again? No. Like
Just like in
absolutely
general,
not.
would you go to a location?
I think so. Yeah. Like,
Nice.
I mean, we've already shot some stuff that like we literally don't have a release date on, and in some of it, I actually just straight up I'm in the overnights with him, and most of it not though. I will say, like, I'm not going to become like a every other week you see me type thing, but every once in a while, like I think I'll definitely pop in.
Nice.
I love that.
That's what we need.
You are a big boy.
We need a little
Conna.
Connor here and there. Yep.
Just a little guy just popping in. You know how it is.
Just a little guy.
A
I
little bit
do-
of Conna in our lives.
Exactly.
I'm feeling really, really funky today, guys.
Apparently.
Music is just getting me. Sorry.
Connor, I do want you to know that my mom was like, no, they're chaining Connor to the cell. She was like all upset for you. All upset
That
for
makes
you.
me so happy to know.
Like both my
that,
parents
you
were
know,
like,
she was rooting for me.
Dakota. Yeah. Yeah, we were pretty mad until we saw what happened to Dak, and then we're like, all right, fine, whatever. But still mad at him.
Right? Dude, how do you think I felt like watching the footage? Like I was under the impression that I had it the worst, right? Because I was like, no one had it worse than me. And I heard Dakota tell me like he felt weird during his sleeping arrangement. And I'm like, cool. And I watch his footage and I'm like, dude, what is going on?
That was intense.
It was
I know.
wild. I stopped
Yeah.
breathing a few times, to be honest. I was like,
Damn.
oh yeah, I have to breathe.
Dude,
That
no,
was a
there's
lot.
something weird about that children's ward. And honestly, like everyone had just absolutely weird things happen. And have you guys ever been to Crescent? Have you seen how big
No.
that place is?
No.
No, and I can say that none of us ever will.
No, not after that.
Safely,
No.
I can say that.
It's I know like you sometimes hear them talk about the size of the location, like how big the places are. Guys, it's like a hike. It's an actual hike to get across. So like just walking, it's like a 10-minute walk maybe to get from like one end of the location to the next, like of the property.
Damn.
You know how long a 10-minute walk is? You can get a long ways walking in 10 minutes. So it's just weird. It's weird that no one was even close to anyone.
That's
And
what scares me.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know how you did it, honestly.
Me either. So brave. There's no way.
thank you.
I would have cried.
Walkie not working?
Yeah.
Dude, right? What was up with that?
I'm just
Oh,
glad that
yeah.
Tanner like realized that he needed to come to you at that point because
Oh,
had you
dude,
sat there longer,
straight up. I mean, beforehand, like off camera, or I mean, technically it was on camera. I just didn't include it in the cut, but I like drilled it into his head. I was like, I will be walking you. And if anything, like if you hear anything from me, it just means just come get me. And so luckily we already had something established.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
But isn't
okay.
it weird though? I don't know if you guys realized this or not. I realized it like a couple days ago when, you know, the episode had been done. Like the end walkie conversation when they're in the chapel and we're still in I block, it works perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like what?
it happened on
Something weird.
purpose.
Sorry, maybe you guys were going to bring that up later.
No, it's fine.
No.
We're good at
Fine.
pivoting. Don't worry.
No.
I would like to know, on average, how long does it take you to edit an episode?
Great question. So editing is like one of the weirdest and like not to make myself sound cool or anything, but probably one of the most underappreciated art forms around, straight up. That and like color grading. Anyone out there who's a colorist or a color grader, they are probably one of the biggest unsung heroes. But then right beneath that is editors. And dude, okay, so to answer your question, how long does it take to edit an episode? Let's push it back. Let's go back to the past where dinosaurs ruled the... No, I'm just kidding. Let's go back to DF. So like for DF, how it worked was we had a team in New York who did all of the daytime stuff, all of the like RV, travel, adventure, whatever, up until the moment that the team stepped inside of the building. And that is when me and Dakota took over the edits. That part would take us 2 weeks. So we had a system with New York. It took them 2 weeks. It took us 2 weeks. So overall, around 2 weeks, we would have an episode of DF cut and ready, more or less. It was probably more like 3 weeks because there were network notes involved and all that. But 2 weeks to get an assembly, sound designed, everything, pretty much good to go. And that was, you know, us doing 21 minutes of DF. Because, right, DF was like, I think, 44 minutes or 45-minute show. and half of that was the overnight, or at least they gave us half. So yeah, 2 weeks to 21 minutes DF. We got pretty good at that. At the start, it was really, really tough. We pulled just crazy hours trying to hit that, trying to make sure that we were up to speed. But then, eventually by I think midway of season 2 and then season 3 and 4, we got pretty comfortable with it and got great at it. And it could maybe, depending on the episode, it would take us, maybe like a week and a couple days or whatever. Fast forward now to Project Fear, where we don't have a team in New York doing that. So we're doing the daytime stuff, and we don't have anyone else. And we have to make our videos a little bit longer just because it works better for YouTube. And, we want to make sure that more is in there. Our initial goal, we went into it thinking like, yeah, we can get this done in 2 weeks. We did it for DF. We didn't do the math right. Like we didn't account for an additional 20 minutes. That used to take us 2 weeks alone, So now it takes about a month, I would say, depending on the episode. And a lot of you might be asking, why would it take a month to edit an episode of anything? What the heck? Let me see if I can explain it. Like editing, it would be so much easier, right? If everything you saw was just exactly how it happened. And let me explain. Like PF and DF, it's not a scripted show, right? Like we don't go in with a script or anything. Everyone just films what happens to them, and then they give me the footage and they say, make this into an episode. And so a lot of editors, you'll have to find the story through the footage. So it just means you have to watch all of the footage. You have to figure out what's happening, and then you have to put it together in the best way possible. Now, what you don't want to do, you don't want to manipulate it and completely change the whole thing, because that's, depending on what kind of editing job you have, you're possibly making you do that. But that's not the case here. It's literally just, how do I convey how scary, or how can I show the audience the best version of what they experienced in their overnight? And I don't think a lot of people understand that. I don't think a lot of people know that what they're seeing is not usually how it was necessarily shot. As in there are a lot of, downtime moments. For example, take my episode at Crescent, okay? I'm sitting in my cell. It cuts back to me and I say, I've been sitting here for 30 minutes. Not much has happened. Okay, that's 30 minutes of footage where, what do you think I was doing in that 30 minutes? I was sitting, I was talking to the camera. I might have heard a small sound or anything. But me editing it, I'm going to cut all that out. I'm going to decide, okay, I don't need any of this, even though maybe there was a couple little small sounds here and there. Don't need it. And then it cuts back to me again after, a couple more people. And I say I've been there for an hour. So that's an hour of footage. And of course, what do you think I'm doing? I'm sitting, I'm talking, I'm hearing things. I'm getting more and more scared. But I'm not going to include all of that. And so now do that for every single person. Every single person. That's just sleeping alone. Every single person sits there for 3 hours. And then it's the editor's job to figure out, okay, what are we going to show? What's worth it? What's not going to waste the audience's time? And so, yeah, back to the original question. Me and Dakota are still working on a system because Project Fear's kind of kicked our butts in a good way when it comes to figuring out how long it takes to edit an episode. Usually it's about a month, and that's if one person is doing it. If it's me and Dakota both on an episode, 2.5 weeks. We can probably get it done in about 2.5 weeks. Yeah, that's that. I don't know. I kind of went off on a thing there, but if I said anything that you need clarification on, let me know. Does that make sense, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, I don't think people realize you have 4 people and you guys are there on average how many hours a night?
From 7 to 8 p.m. until about 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so you have to watch all of that footage. So
all of it.
The fact that you guys turn all of that into what Project Fear is, that's insane, Connor. Kudos to you guys. I'm mind blown right now.
You know what's crazy is first of all, thank you. It feels crazy good. After I'm done cutting an episode, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. That was a lot of work. Yeah, what's crazy is whenever, this is kind of off topic, but when we first started editing, right? Me and Dakota started editing DF together. I was nowhere near qualified to have gotten that job. It's actually crazy. Dakota knew that I loved editing. I did that as my career at that time, but I wasn't on the level of like editing for a TV show. And yeah, gosh, dude, I can't even watch the first, like some of the first episodes of season 1 of DF, just because I'm like, wow. I had so much growing to do. And it's crazy. Anyone who's been around since day one, like you guys like grew with me and everyone, just because I learned so much as I went. So yeah, it's so interesting. DF was great, and I learned so much. It was a huge learning experience for me.
Well, you can definitely see like the progression. I mean, like it was great then, like to someone who doesn't edit, it was great then, but it's even better now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really awesome to see, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Agreed.
No, I appreciate that. You have Dakota to thank for most, if not all of that. He truly, like, I don't know, Dakota has a vision. He had a vision for what the show should be from the start. Like, we're talking from Trail to Terror. DF was supposed to be called Trail to Terror, and then it was changed to DF and now PF. He's had this vision like since about 2016, 2017, probably before that. And obviously it's changed a little bit, like it's evolved, I guess. But you have Dakota to thank for that. He's able to actually put it on screen, his idea.
I mean, I guess we could be nice to Dakota for a minute.
Just for a minute. Just for
Yeah.
1 or 2 minutes. We'll be nice to him. After that,
Good job, Dak.
we do be shitting.
He just makes it too easy, man.
Dude, what's funny is he does, and he like Dakota's probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, he's good at making you feel emotions toward him, right?
Yeah, that's the best way to put it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I like this is so bad to say. I like bullying him, but I don't hate him. Like it's just easy.
True. I mean,
True cars.
I don't even know, dude. Because sometimes I'm like, man, I hope he doesn't take this stuff seriously. Like, I hope he doesn't,
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you have absolutely nothing to worry about.
Okay, good.
He's fine.
It was like when the first time me and my mom met him, we were like, we don't actually think you're a shitty brother, just so you know. Like, just in case.
No, that's good. I'm glad you told him that.
Yeah.
I'm glad, because like I said, he's an actual good person.
Yeah.
He's a nice man.
Yeah.
This is a pretty basic question, but I legitimately am curious. Like, can you guys talk to me, like each of you, like what kinds, if any, what kinds of like haunted experiences have you guys had in your life personally? Because I know everyone has different things, and I'm very curious, like, if any, what kinds of haunted experiences have you guys experienced?
I'll go first because mine's the quickest, because I don't have very many.
Me too, actually.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's mostly just, like growing up, my mom's always believed, my biological father's always believed, and we would go out to, like, this stupid Boy Scouts camp, and then they were always like, oh, Campsite 13's haunted by this ghost named Sarah. So me and my cousins always thought we could see Sarah, or we're like, she's here, like as kids. And that's pretty much the extent of my own personal hauntings and experiences, though.
Interesting.
Well, I did have the one time I was at church for Christmas Mass, and my grandma had passed away like years prior, and I asked my mom, I was like, is Grandma Gail here? And she was like, yeah, she's in the pew behind us. And I was like, what? And then my brother wasn't like singing along with the songs because he hates going to church. And I was like, Tate, just cooperate. And I heard my grandma tell me to leave my brother alone.
What?
Mm-hmm. And then there was like cold air between me and my mom, and then it was gone. And I didn't feel her there anymore.
Okay, see, like that, I feel like that's such a cool story, number one, because it's super personal and it involves a family member. But also, number two, it's not scary. Like,
no.
And it's not supposed to be. Like, half of the, like, ghost stories, like, some should be good, some should be bad. You know what I mean? Like there's good spirits, bad spirits. That's cool.
Where should I start? I'll keep it like just short and simple. I have seen, heard, felt things touch me my entire life.
Really?
It's my entire life. Yeah. We've all had, like, everybody in our house has like a sensitivity. And yeah, like I think that's pretty self-explanatory. We've seen, my sister has seen our grandmother in the bathroom. She saw my mom's ex-husband standing in the living room and then described him to a T to my mother, after have never oh my God, having never seen a picture of him prior. Like, my favorite story to tell is, especially today, celebrating Veterans Day, month, I don't know when it was. It might have been like a month into COVID that I was grocery shopping for my parents. They are both older, obviously. COVID was a very scary thing for us. So I was the one going to the grocery store. And the night before I went grocery shopping, I was in the kitchen and I heard like someone say, "Go back." A woman's voice, very gentle, like whatever. And then I saw something like a light move on the ground in front of me. And I'm freaking out thinking like, what the hell's going on? I'm calling everybody like, hey, is everything okay? Like, I couldn't put two and two together that like go back had nothing to do with someone being like in danger or having an issue that I needed to help, until the next day, where I ended up having, like, we have a lot of grocery stores around here, but I went to a pretty far one to shop that day. And my grandpa has a veteran sign on like one of the worst curves, like the most dangerous roads. So I drive by it. Everything is fine. I grocery shop. I'm on my way home. Now, mind you, my grandpa has passed like many, many moons ago. So I turn around after grocery shopping, start to go home, and his sign is hanging off a pole. So it clicks for me, go back. So I turn around, drive by again, his sign is in the middle of the road. So here I am running like an absolute fucking mad woman. Like I said, on the worst road to run in the middle of the road. It's a curve, like a total blind curve. So I'm in the middle of the road, just like, I got you, Grandpa! So that was my go back. I went back and I drove home with my grandfather's veteran sign in the passenger seat, and it was the weirdest fucking feeling because it was like he was actually there. Like, it didn't feel like it was just a picture of him on a sign. It felt like he was sitting next to me on the drive home.
Chills, Jay. I have chills.
Yeah.
Dude, that's wow.
It's shit like that I have a lot of stories.
To follow up with that, you said you've pretty much experienced things like this your entire life.
Yeah.
Gosh, what's that like? What's that like growing up as a were you not a terrified little kid?
I was in the beginning. I think as any person would be, because you can't see it. It's freaking scary. But as time went on, I understood more that in that kind of situation, I trusted my emotions. And if I was scared of it, it was negative, and I told it to get out. If it wasn't scary, I knew everything was fine. It was just kind of like a move along type deal. Now, I'm just kind of like, yeah, fuck off. And like, I'll roll over and go to bed. Like, I feel people in my room. I've felt people like sit on the edge of my bed or touch me. I've had someone like stroke my hair while I was laying in bed at night. And I'm just like, get the hell out of here. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this. So I just roll over and go to bed.
You know, what I forgot about is what Jay and I experienced in the hotel room after Pennhurst. But Mads can answer her. She can give you her answer first. We can circle back on that.
Okay. Well, mine is, I was sitting here trying to collect my thoughts because like I had quite a few experiences growing up, but I didn't understand that they were paranormal. Because obviously my family, they weren't open to talking about it when I was younger. But
Really?
two, yeah, no. Like my mom was like, no, ghosts aren't real. But then when I hit my teen years and things started to get a little bit crazier for me, that's when like my mom was like, okay, yeah, ghosts are real. Like she just like wanted to protect that innocence, I guess. And so two things come to mind. There was this one situation where I had a bedroom upstairs. It was like a bonus room. So I was the only one that had a room upstairs. Everybody else was downstairs. At this time in my life, my biological dad would come home late. He worked like, I don't know what shift, second, third shift. And so he would get home at like 2, 3 in the morning. And I remember laying in bed and I heard what I thought was the TV super loud. It was like so loud, it woke me up and I was so mad. And I was like, I'm going to go tell my dad to turn the TV off. So I like tore down the stairs, opened the door, expecting my dad to be there listening to the TV blasting. Nobody was down there. Everybody was asleep. So whatever I was hearing, it has to be paranormal. No TVs were on, but it sounded like a TV was like right there or somewhere that was close enough for me to hear. It was so loud.
Like when you say TV, like you heard like static or you heard like voices?
It was voices, but like it sounded kind of staticky, if that makes sense.
Do you remember what the old TVs used to sound like with the like turn dials?
Yes, it kind of sounded like that.
Yeah. Like if you were in a different room.
Like that's the best way to explain it. So
okay, that's freaky.
That was the first thing that every time I think about like my experiences, that's the number one thing because there's no explanation for that. Like, and it upset me so bad because I was like, I'm literally trying to sleep. Like, Dad, go cut the TV off, dude. Like, you know what I mean? So that happened. And then I haven't talked about this story yet, but after my grandpa passed away in 2013, some weird shit started happening. Like, obviously, we went and stayed with my grandmother after he passed for like, it was a couple days before the funeral. And we woke up in the middle of the night to Westerns playing very loud in the other room.
What?
And he loved watching old Westerns. And it was in the other living room that he never was in very often. So that happened. That was wild.
That's weird.
And it just doesn't make any sense. There's no reason why Westerns would be on that TV. So then we got up, cut it off, and we're like, okay, that's weird. And then a little backstory on this one. Before my grandpa passed away, he was in hospice, and he asked my mom and I to sing Amazing Grace to him. And so we did. And then a night or two after the Westerns playing on the TV, Amazing Grace just started blasting in the house. Somewhere. Yeah.
How?
Literally. I don't know. It's crazy. But this was all prior to the funeral. So it was like days after he passed, like 1, 2, maybe even 3 days passed. And I've always heard that that's when they have the most energy. So, I mean, that's way too, I don't know, it's too spot on to be a coincidence. The Westerns playing, Amazing Grace, and like it obviously, like we had an emotional reaction. Like I still want to get emotional about it because it just doesn't make any sense. Like he was totally there. Like you could feel that energy. It was so crazy. So those are the two things for sure that have always like stuck out in my memory. But I've had a lot of other ones too.
Okay, wow. Those are like, I don't know. Those are incredibly personal. Thank you for sharing. That's crazy.
I know. It is crazy. It's crazy to think about.
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
No, I'm telling you, man.
The Westerns on the TV, that's strange. But then being followed up by Amazing Grace somehow playing through your house.
Right?
Days after. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's weird.
Like,
that's really cool. See, that's a cool experience. You know, like you can look back on that and like with fondness, right?
Yeah.
And be like, oh, you know, I think you think about your grandpa probably, and that's really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely special. I mean, I've had some scary ones too, don't get me wrong. Sure. But those ones are a little bit more cool. Yeah, special for sure.
Well, what's interesting is like kind of back to what Jay was saying, how I don't know if you're also like this, Mads, but how, kids just seem to, for whatever reason, kids can tap in to some sort of spiritual realm sometimes, right? You hear stories about kids seeing family members or whatever.
Oh,
And for whatever reason that, I'm sure, dude, I would love to hear more, just because it seems like once kids reach a certain age, they kind of lose it sometimes, right? Like kids will have some sort of experiences. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I have no idea. This is a weird story. I don't think I've shared this with like anyone. Mostly just it's not that cool. But like I remember my friend, one of my friends growing up, we were both probably like 4 or 5 years old, and I'd go over to his house. I remember he would tell me like about how scared he was to go to bed because there would be a black ball that floats over his bed. And like, I remember we went into his bedroom and he like pointed at like the corner of his room and he said there was like a big black ball like every other night that would just be there and like float above him. And I remember as a kid, it really scared me. And then whatever, I forgot about it. But then like recently I was thinking about it and I'm like, what the heck could that have been? Like, that's weird. I mean, sure, like kids can, kids are kids, but when you're a kid and you're scared of something, I don't know, you remember it pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
They're more susceptible to it.
I think it's because maybe kids are more open-minded.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like grow up and form opinions and you kind of become more closed-minded to things like that sometimes. So
Definitely.
That's super cool. Super interesting. I don't even know. I don't have very many ghost stories at all, honestly. I just got super intrigued by the paranormal from like a young age. I remember when I was in elementary school, at my school's library, we had to check out books like once a week, right? And I checked out a book that was called like Real Ghost Pictures or something. And I got so scared. I was like 9 years old. I was like crying, like reading this at my house. I didn't want to go upstairs. My mom got so mad. She's like, why did you check out this book? You're just scared now. I'm like, I don't know. I wanted to see ghosts. But I was like super curious, but I didn't have like anything like weird happen to me up until like actually straight up like up until I was like a teenager. And then like, I don't know, I had like some strange little things here and there. But I never had anything like what you guys are saying, like family member or anything like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be on the other end of it, for sure.
Especially the family member ones. Because it's like, a lot of people like always hope like, is there another side? Will I be able to communicate with them again? Blah, blah, blah. So it's like when you do have an experience like that, like with the one for me with my grandma, it was just wild. I was just like so blown away by that. And like the fact that my mom confirmed it for me, because you're like, is this real or am I making it up type of thing?
Yeah.
Right. Because it's so easy to psych yourself out. I feel like that's
100%.
That's such an actual part of experiencing something paranormal is like deciphering, is this real? Like it's an actual question. So an example of that is on the road whenever we're filming, and actually watch as I share this and it's actually paranormal, but I don't think this is paranormal. I sleep with like a fan at my house, like just because of the noise. I can't fall asleep without a fan. And so whenever we're on the road, I have to put on white noise on my phone. But I've learned that I will start to hear legitimate voices through the white noise. Specifically, this has happened at 2 Airbnbs we stayed at. Actually, I can tell you, it was at the one at Joliet. I heard, actually, wow, it's happened a lot. The College Hill Airbnb, Joliet Airbnb, and then this last Airbnb in Connecticut. I heard actual conversations when everyone at like 3 a.m. and I turned off the white noise and then they stopped. And, honestly, I'm really glad I second guessed myself because I probably would have just written off the whole Airbnb as haunted. But no, I'm pretty sure my mind was just hearing voices through the white noise. Weird.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mads,
right? Like you basically kind of like did your own spirit box section without even trying.
Dude, no, don't even say that. Do not tell me those were real voices.
I mean,
it's kind of the same though.
I'll tell you, like, I've definitely heard voices. I heard them a lot at night.
I hear voices.
No, but yeah, it does happen frequently. I mean, it kind of leads into that whole story with, you know, the TV thing, right? Like
Mhm.
that's the first time, well, not the first time, but it sticks out the most to me in memory. But sometimes it happens and it's always at night, and I also sleep with the fan, so you know, I get it. But I've had some things in my ear say my name. I don't like that.
Well, that's a thing. Like with a fan, with an actual fan, I've never heard voices. It's only whenever I pull up white noise on YouTube and play it through my phone. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have an explanation for why
That's
that happens.
wild.
Are you picking videos that already has voices in them?
Maybe I am, dude. Some idiot's just putting like background TV voices into this 10-hour white
Just to
noise
mess with
video.
people?
Oh, dude, that'd be funny.
It'd be
The
so
crew's
fun.
like, yeah, watch Connor do this.
Plot
It was
twist
them the
Connor made
whole
the video.
Yeah. I'm going to make a white noise channel. Each video will be, 12 hours, but in some of them, they'll just be a random scream.
Somebody's
That
like
would be
dead
so
asleep.
mean. I've thought that so many times where I'll put on a white noise video that I haven't watched before, or I haven't listened to. I'm like, this could be the one. This could be the one that some guy puts a murderous scream in.
It would be like right when you were drifting into sleep too, like you're almost there, and then just
Okay, but like that is exactly like when I would hear the voices, though. Actually, it was so bad. It was actually torture.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah.
That's the dreamlike state that you enter, that you're the veil, they call it, is the thinnest when you're only
You're vulnerable.
partially conscious.
Okay, so are we saying the voices I heard are real, or they were in my head?
Yeah.
Because now I'm scared.
No,
It kind of sounds like it, Connor.
I think it was real.
Okay, then let me tell this story, dude. This was freaking weird. This was at the last Airbnb we stayed at. I can't say the location that we were filming at because those have yet to be released, but it was in like Connecticut, I think. And they were doing their overnight. I'm at the Airbnb sleeping, or at least trying to sleep, because something keeps like waking me up. I once again have white noise that's playing, and I would start to fall asleep, just like we were saying. And then I heard 2 taps on the ground. Not taps, but like knocks on the ground. This time it wasn't voices. And I shot up. I'm like, what? And then I realized, I'm like, oh, it's probably just my head again. So I lay back down. And then after like 5-10 minutes, I'm about to fall asleep. I hear 2 knocks on the window next to me. Like knock, knock, knock. 3 knocks. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? It wasn't voices. This time it was knocks. And so after that, I was like kind of scared, but I'm like, look, no one's in the house. It was a really, really old house, though. I will say that. And so I just switched it. I switched it from white noise to rain and rain sounds. And then for whatever reason, I was able to fall asleep. But I was scared because it wasn't voices that time. It was knocks.
I think you should probably stop listening to white noise when you're trying to go to bed.
But I need it.
Can you is there YouTube videos of just fan sounds maybe?
That's what it was. It was fan sounds.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
I mean, if you have an iPhone, they have actual like white noise, any kind of noise that you want settings.
Well, I'll have to freaking
Yeah.
look
Maybe-
into that.
Maybe like dark noise or something like that, or like a
Brown noise.
flowing stream of water, or the ocean. Like
Yeah.
pick
Legit.
something else.
Stick with rain,
yeah.
Connor.
I think I'm going to. And if I
Yeah.
start hearing it with rain,
Then
I'm
you're
like,
screwed.
I'm gonna have to bring a physical van with me.
Aw.
You want to
Dang
see
it.
Connor walking around with a fan?
Exactly, dude.
Get one of
Pack it in my
those
suitcase.
Handheld ones and just put it right next to your ear. Just don't get it caught in your hair.
Just buzzing. Yeah, exactly.
One
Oh
way to wake
gosh,
up.
yeah. I don't know. That's been freaking me out lately. That's the worst. Getting sleep on the road is the worst.
That I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
just Berg, our thing with
Oh yeah. Tell about your Penhurst story.
Okay, so Penhurst, we went to Penhurst on Saturday, right?
yes.
Yeah. So it was Sunday night, it's actually early hours of Monday morning. It was like 4 a.m. And I woke up, I had to pee. So Jamie and Joe are in the king bed. It was like a small apartment. You were in the same hotel with us. I'm sure your room was like similar, right? So you had like a room and then a living room and then a kitchen.
Yeah. I
Okay.
slept in the living room.
Yeah. So we had a king suite one. So Jamie and Joe were in the bedroom, and then me and Mads are on the pull-out couch, and the bathroom's in the freaking bedroom. So I got up, I went in, snuck into Jamie's room to go to the bathroom, and I go back out, and I lay down.
Oh my god, bitch.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. Joe was there too. I wanted to hog you to myself. I didn't want to share. My bad.
Anywho.
So I go back to bed, and like all weekend, me and Mads have been like back to back. I don't know why, but I was like, my freaking hip hurts. I'm getting too old to sleep on a fucking pull-out couch.
Right.
So I roll over, and my knees are like in Madeline's back, and I try to fall asleep, and I feel like something is staring at me from behind me, and I was like, nah, man, I'm just psyching myself out because we were at Penhurst. We've been with the fucking paranormal people all weekend. Like, I'm just delusional. It's 4 a.m. So I try to fall asleep, and like 3 minutes later, I'm like, oh god, it's like, it's dark, it's like menacing, it's creepy. I'm like, something is here and it's watching me. And so I was just like, please leave me alone. And it left. Like, I felt it leave. And then Jamie?
So, fast forward a couple minutes, I guess, and I feel it over my bed. So I was on the right side, right corner, like gigantic. Like, I had to look up to like look at what I felt standing there. Because I'm thinking, like, maybe it's one of the girls. Like, they had to go to the bathroom. I heard them come in and walk out. Like, possibly. I open my eyes, nothing's there. And I'm just like, oh, fuck off. Because, like she said, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this shit. So, like, it's there for a couple minutes. I think I started saying the Hail Mary. Because our belief is always, like, if you're having trouble sleeping, if you just say the Hail Marys, the Blessed Mother will help you fall asleep. That's our thing. I don't know if anybody else believes in that. But I started to pray and just slowly drifted into sleep, but it was there and it was gross. And I told it to get fucking lost.
That's
So
so
then-
weird that you both. Oh, sorry.
Well,
Continue. What the
So
heck?
then, Connor, like the next morning, I was like, God, my freaking spine hurts. So I was like, why does my back hurt so much? And I'm like, it's because we're on this stupid mattress, right? Well, I'm like Jamie's like, let me look. And so I like lift my shirt up. She's like, dude, you have like a scratch mark right here. Like
Yeah.
right where it hurt.
What?
But she didn't say anything about what happened. So, like,
No, me and Jamie
was just
never
like-
talked about that.
we were going up the Mayflower. We were going up. And I saw you out the window standing in line. Nobody else was there. It was just you just waiting there. And I was like, Conna! And I saw you look around. And then I giggled and walked away.
It's true. I witnessed it.
So if you remember that, that was me.
Okay, well that's good.
Voices
To be
coming
honest,
from Mayflower.
those Penhurst days are kind of a blur. The
Yeah.
convention days. Do you guys remember how long those lines were?
We didn't even
Yeah,
get
that's
to
why
the
we
line.
didn't put in them.
We were like,
Dude, it
nope,
was-
not doing that.
Oh, it was insane. So many people. We did not think it was going to be that many people. And this is not a humble brag. This is a legitimate, like,
Whoa. Yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah.
That was
And
Yeah, it was
insane.
awesome.
Connor, in Jersey, we stood in line. We got in line like right around noon, and we got out of line at like 3:49.
Dude, what the heck? We need to get a better system.
It was
This is
Yeah.
insane.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, the problem is, right? Like, I don't know. We want to make it. I say we. It's they, right? Like, they don't want to make it worthwhile. Like, they don't want you to wait in line and then just take a picture and leave.
Hi,
like,
bye. Yeah.
everyone's legitimately nice, and we'll talk and everything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think conventions are just going to be long with our group. On the topic of conventions, we learned, like, we are never doing a convention in the middle of a road trip ever again. Literally ever. Oh my gosh. You guys have no idea how bad that hurt us. I'm not kidding. Like, we did Penhurst, with Colin, and then we did the then we did the convention, and then we did Crescent. That was after standing out in the sun for 2 days, talking with hundreds of people, and then we did an overnight the next day. Like, everyone
were
was
crazy.
hurt, like physically hurting. Like, no one wanted to do it. This Pennsylvania
probably-
road trip, oh, it was bad. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
kidding. At the end of it, mentally, everyone was gone. Like, we were kind of going crazy. Everyone was just getting pissed at everyone for no reason. Like, it was bad. We are never doing a convention in the middle of a road trip ever again. It was too much. And Jamie, shout out to you. I know you're in Pennsylvania. Are you familiar with the town of Portage?
Not at all. No.
Dude, screw that town. That town sucks so bad. Whoever's listening from Portage, you're down. You're down bad. I'm telling you right now. In fact, you know, I won't even say it. The good people of Portage, there are no good people of Portage.
Damn.
No, I'm just kidding. Whoever's listening to if someone in here likes PF and you're from Portage, I won't talk shit on you because, you know, you don't deserve it. You already live in a terrible town. But like,
Damn. Okay, we need context, Conna.
dude, okay. For full context, and this is kind of a shameless plug, but Fear Club will understand why Portage sucks so bad. I'll summarize it though. Like, okay, so we stayed in what we thought was this really cool Airbnb. It was like this historic house in Portage, whatever. It was like, you know, 20 minutes away from Crescent, so it was perfect. And it's this tiny little town, whatever. It's cool. I like staying in small towns. It's fun. Like we did the overnight and then we're back at our Airbnb at like, you know, 7:30, 8 in the morning, and we're about to sleep for like as long as we can because we're tired. They sent roofers to the Airbnb and redid roofing and paneling of the house. So I had just done my first overnight. I'm laying down. Everyone is. I am not the victim here. Everyone is. And we just start hearing.
Oh my gosh.
The whole house is vibrating. The entire house. We have roofers nailing things in. No one was able to sleep. We got probably like an hour and a half worth of sleep. The night before, the restaurants there, they got nothing. I won't even talk about the first one. We ordered what we thought was going to be like a sandwich, and they gave us a piece of pizza folded in half. I won't even talk about that. The crazy one was we got Chinese food from like this place that everyone in the town was raving about. I drove 25 minutes out of town to a Walmart to pick up groceries, and some lady or the worker there was like, "Oh, you're staying in Portage. Go to this Chinese food place." And then another person recommended it. I'm like, "Wow, this must be really, really great." Legit the worst food. I'm not saying Chinese food. This was the worst food in general I have ever had. I can't. It was so bad. I'm not a food critic. I'm the opposite. I eat everything. I eat anything. I love anything. This was so bad. Oh my gosh. So Portage
Oh my god.
screwed us hard. Like we were down so bad that like we found a McDonald's and we're like, we're saved. We can actually like eat now.
Until you get food poisoning from it.
Which we might have gotten food poisoning. I don't know.
Oh,
Portage
no.
sucks. More on that in the Fear Club, but it was, dude. I guess this whole point. Never doing a convention in the middle of a road trip. Screw Portage, and it was a really really tough road trip. Also, I don't even know. That's it.
That sucks.
Oof.
Go visit Portage, Jay. Go report back.
I need you to do some investigating.
Very appealing.
Specifically try the Chinese restaurant while you're there.
I'll send you the name. I remember the name. I won't say it here, but I'll send you the name.
He is so traumatized. He has it locked and loaded in his brain.
Can you bleep it out if I say the name?
Oh yeah, we can just cut it too.
Yeah, we can cut it.
I think it's called. Oh, okay. That's why it's so freaking funny. So it's called. And dude, they get the fortune cookies were I actually think made out of some sort of cardboard. Like I'm not kidding. I think it was half cardboard. And Dakota's fortune cookie didn't even have a fortune in it. How do you name your restaurant when no fortune? You can keep that in the episode. I don't even care.
Okay.
Hold
on.
So overrated.
What a ripoff.
So I just so happened to look it up on
Does it have incredible reviews?
4.6 stars, 98
That's
reviews.
what I'm saying. It had really, really good reviews.
Hey guys, guess what the last 3 digits of the phone number is?
222.
222.
Okay, Connor. So the Fear Babe's angelic number is 222. The first time we were in Jersey together, we saw 222 everywhere. So that's the significance of that. That's why Jay brought it up.
He is not angelic. I promise. It's a deception from the devil. You do not
He
want to
doesn't
visit
fucking
it.
care.
He's like, it's a trap. Don't do it.
I don't know. That'd be funny if you went and you just had the best experience, and maybe they were just like, "Yeah, fuck these guys. Like, we're not gonna give them any good edible food."
Oh,
Maybe you were just already grumpy, so your experience was skewed by that.
It could, I'm
Probably
gonna go
not.
ahead and just say no,
But maybe.
no.
No.
We were. Oh my gosh, I don't know if we've said this before, like publicly, but like DF. First of all, like the difference from PF to DF shooting wise is so much better. Like the fact that we stay in Airbnbs. Oh my gosh, like. That is the best decision we could have ever made.
Oh, yeah.
Number one, because we save money. We actually save a lot of money doing that. But number two, like, it's even though, like, look, it's never like we're never staying in like mansions. One of us is always like on a couch or like on a blow up mattress. Always. But it's the best. Like, we're always together. We stay close. On DF, everyone had hotel rooms like that they would stay in. And I wasn't on the road nearly as much as they were. But just hearing what they have to say, they're like, yeah, they like after they were done shooting, they would just go chill in their hotel room and then get food, maybe see everyone a couple times, and then that's it. But like the Airbnbs, we are just together all the time. It's great. It makes it so much better.
that's adorable.
Those are
It
some
is
of my
adorable.
favorite moments, actually, of PF, is your Airbnb moments that you guys show.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I mean, that was like an aspect that we weren't sure, like, how are people going to react to seeing even more like daytime stuff? Like, we have to replace the kind of adventure, quote unquote, that travel would have them do with something, or we didn't have to replace it, but like it kind of got replaced by us just dinking around in the Airbnb and stuff like that. I think it's way more fun to watch than
100%.
the adventures.
It's just cool because you
Definitely.
guys get to be like more you. Like, you don't have to hide as much anymore.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's like I feel like I can speak for Jay and Mads on this, but like that's the stuff that we live for. Like, we love when you guys are just you. So
Yeah.
That's good. No, seriously, thank you. Because that has been probably like the biggest change going from DF to PF. There's been a lot of big changes, obviously. But yeah, like I think you hit the nail on the head. Everyone feels like they can just kind of be themselves more. And they can know that like, hey, in the edit, it actually probably won't get cut around. Like, it's actually probably going to be featured in the edit. Because yeah, DF was great. Don't get me wrong. But I love the feel on PF so much more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Onward and upward.
Agreed.
That's what it is.
True. Yeah.
One door
actually.
closes, another opens.
Mhm.
It's been a crazy year. It's been an actually crazy. Can I just say that? Like,
Yeah.
went from being one of the worst, actually probably like the worst year of my life, like hardest. It was very, very difficult finding out that we were canceled. It was like, wow, like everything I poured my soul into it. And that's me, the editor. I couldn't even imagine how everyone else felt.
Yeah.
Especially, Dakota or, everyone else. But I put 4 years of my life into this as hard as I could. And then it was just canceled just like that. It was terrible. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, well, I'm either the options were everyone's going to split up and do their own thing. I was going to try to take on other editing gigs. Like, I was working with Sam and Colby at some point. Actually, for a while, I worked with them for a minute on the off time. Shout out to them. They're some of the best people in the entire world. But that was my goal. I did not want to do that, though. Nothing against Sam and Colby, but I just didn't like, I don't know. I didn't like doing other gigs, if that makes sense. Like, I liked doing my own thing. And everyone in the group, no one knew what was going to happen. And it was on that Arizona road trip that we sat down all together, got Chelsea on the phone, and we said, okay, if we're going to do this, if we're going to do a YouTube channel, everyone needs to be in. We need to restructure everything. We're not going to have a team anymore. It's just going to be us. We need to figure this out. And like, yes, it's cool to say like, yeah, we made the decision right there. in Arizona that we're going to do Project Fear, and it went great. But dude, it was so stressful. Like, we started planning the Kickstarter. We had no idea if it was even going to work. We're like, what's a realistic number? How much money are we willing to personally put in so that we can hit the Kickstarter goal just in case it doesn't hit? How are we going to do this? How long can we survive? Does everyone have enough savings? Yes. Okay. No one lived crazy. Not that DF gave anyone really a ton of money at all, by the way. Luckily, none of us lived stupid. So we all had kind of a savings. And it was like, okay, well, let's try and really budget yourself out, guys. Like, we don't know how long this is going to work for or how long this is going to take. And I'm telling you, like, those months, February, March, April, I don't remember when the Kickstarter was released, but every single day leading up to the Kickstarter release, not only was there a ton of things to do, it was so stressful. It was just unbelievably stressful. It was just scary. I did not know. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, this could fail. And then, I'm probably going to have to go find other work, and this sucks. I love my friends. I don't know what I'm going to do. And just like, obviously super, super overwhelmed with how well the Kickstarter did. No one thought that was going to happen at all. 0%. Not a humble brag, just actual truth. We did not think it was going to do that well at all. It has essentially funded, like, I would say most, if not all, of Project Fear's road trips for the foreseeable future. Like, that Kickstarter money is going to fund all of the road trips for a very, very long time. None of us are touching that money, by the way. Like, a lot of people thought that, it was going directly to us. It is in its own account specifically for road trips and Project Fear specific expenses, like hard drives. So that is it. Like, it's just been crazy. And then obviously, like, the support from YouTube right from the get-go was also mind-blowing. We did not think that we were going to have as big of an audience as we have. And we're so grateful. We're so happy. So, like, this year went from being literally like the hardest year in a very long time to, I'm not kidding, like, the best year. The transition was great. And it's literally all because of you guys. And that sounds so cheesy, and I'm specifically talking, like, to you fear babes, like, people like you. It's been incredible. Like, literally just because we've had support, just because we've had people who say, yeah, I dig what you're doing. I'll watch it. And it's great. It's been so nice. So the transition, it's been a roller coaster. It's been wild. And I'm just so happy with how PF is doing.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
I love that so much.
Yeah, we were extremely proud to watch how you guys took off.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was so amazing.
You guys are, like, probably the hardest working people that I've, like, ever met.
Yeah.
And it shows. And I hope you know that it shows. And I hope you know that it doesn't go unnoticed, Connor.
Well, thank you. You have Dakota to thank for that, because it was his freaking idea to bring the actual show to YouTube with 2 people. No, I'm just kidding.
Shout out Dakota. We'll be nice again.
I'm just kidding. Thank you, though. Like, we really, like, everyone, all of us work super freaking hard. Like, there's so many back end things happening, because it's a little team now. A whole New York team is now replaced by 5 people, 6 people.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Honestly.
It's crazy.
But you guys do so great. I mean,
So
like,
great.
it's awesome to watch.
I'm just glad people like it. I'm glad that all of us are comfortable doing it. We're having a lot of fun doing it. And, like, that's honestly, it's all I can ask for. People to watch and for us to like what we're doing. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
True.
Life is too hard to hate what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's true.
Facts.
And you're killing it.
Thank you. It's fun. And then, yeah, I made it in an episode. Like, what the heck?
Finally.
It's actually wild.
Yeah, that was
I just
intense.
the whole time, like, oh no, Conna!
Literally.
Every time something happened, I'm like, oh no, get him out of there!
Dude, that was a scary freaking night.
You did great.
You
Like,
really did, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was really glad
Definitely.
that Tanner said it the way that he did.
Yeah.
That, like, that was something that they wouldn't have done when they started this.
Yeah.
And the fact that you
100%.
jumped right into it.
Yeah, your first night, you're like, all right, I'm down. Train
Yeah.
me to the cell. Like,
It was crazy.
Dude, I think it took them 3 seasons of DF to take away flashlights.
Yeah.
you're
3.
just like,
Which we
You
still
were
have beef about,
hidden.
but we'll let it go.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The honestly, this location though, no flashlights, was actually kind of okay, just because like safety wise, no one felt threatened, like intruder wise, I guess. Like there's
Yeah.
actual prison walls.
That's
So
good.
tough to get in, tough to break into Crescent. I'm sure it's possible, but we weren't nearly as concerned as some other locations.
Did you just get this sense of like impending doom because you couldn't move?
Yes. So I mean, it's weird. Like I don't know if you like you watch it. I like legitimately felt super weird right before it all went down. You see it change on my face, and I say it out loud.
Yeah.
I say, "Whoa!" I just felt really, really weird. And then I hear a huge slam, and my body just involuntarily tried to get up and leave. You see the chain pull, and then I'm like, I'm just here now. And it took me a second to like realize, like, okay, wait, I can walk you, Tanner. I'm getting out. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I would not have been that brave. I feel like if I were like handcuffed to something, I would have a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, because it's like I can't get up and run.
Yeah. I would have, if I was you, I would have just been like, I'm not doing challenge yourself. Somebody else has to. Like, I totally would have chickened out and would not have felt bad about it.
I mean, look, like I was in front of the camera. I didn't want to look like a weak little boy.
I felt the
was
pressure.
Like, oh yeah, totally great. Inside, I was definitely feeling every single one of those emotions. Like I said, I'm pretty sure a lot of it was just like adrenaline initially, and then adrenaline at the end that got me through. Because I'm a very nervous person. I'm an anxious person in general. So yeah, it was not a good formula for me feeling great. It was very, very scary.
But you did it. You're a strong weenie now.
I'm a strong weenie.
The strongest weenie that we know. That sounds funny.
Oh god,
it's true. I just thought it was such a weird night with like actually though, like all of the things that came through on the spirit box somehow like correlated with each other. Like actually freaking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's one thing to watch people do it, a whole other thing to actually be the one holding the device.
Right? That was like,
weird.
that was a game changer for me. The second, even like the Estes method, like on the last episode, doing it with Dakota.
Yeah.
He was talking away from me. Like I could not hear anything he was saying. And then whenever I heard 3 and Devil, I was only scared because of Devil. He like told me after, like, how the devil, or they heard devil 3 times, and I was like, okay, like actually, what? Like that is freaking. I could not. I got way scared after that.
Yeah, that's hard to fathom.
That was what was freaking me out watching this episode. It's just how like devil, the D word,
repetitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just kept coming back to it.
I feel some type of way about that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Riley heard. In the spirit box, I'm curious. I don't. If you guys don't have answers right now, I don't care. But like, there's a couple moments where like I put on question marks on the screen because I literally could not decipher what it was saying. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, there's a couple moments.
Yeah.
Riley heard something in one of those, and it sounded like it was when me and Tana were doing the spirit box, and it sounded like at one point it said like "your friend" or something like that, something creepy, and it would make sense because like Tanner had come there, like I don't know. She put it together for me. I was like, oh, that's freaking weird. She did it after I had edited the episode though, so I just kept it as question marks. But it's so
I
weird.
heard something too. I can't remember. I'll have to look back. But I think Tanner asked a question, and I heard something, and it didn't register for you guys. And I was like, wait a second, that's creepy.
Yeah, no, straight up. Like, there's definitely like. I'm sure there's a couple like little voices and stuff that maybe I missed in the edit that like if it doesn't have a subtitle, it doesn't mean it's not a voice. Like there could be something that you just missed, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it creeped me out.
What? Connor, what was it like for you editing this episode and like watching you go through all that?
Oh man.
Again.
Like I was really nervous going into it. Just watching the footage. I was really nervous watching the footage. I think I saved watching my stuff for last because I didn't even want to see it, if that makes sense. I was like, dude, I just remember how scared I was. I don't even want to watch this. And so I watched everyone sleeping alone before I watched mine, which I should have done the opposite because there was a lot of things from mine that would have helped me understand what other people were doing, but that's besides the point. Once I got to like assembling it and like putting it together, I felt better after I'd watched it and I like half relived it. I was like, okay, all right. I was still very nervous and just strange feeling watching it. But then once I started assembling it, I was like, okay, wow, I see it. I could see it. And I guess it was just strange. Overall, it was very, very strange. And the nervousness went away. And by the end, once it was all assembled and I got to see what it all looked like, I'm like, okay, cool. And I felt fine. And obviously I'm totally okay to watch it now and everything.
It's so weird to have to relive it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing because I've spent the last, 4.5 years watching everyone else go through some of the scariest moments of their life. And I watch it, no problem.
Yeah.
Or I guess sometimes I'll watch it and I'm a little bit more affected. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But it's completely different watching it than it's yourself. You're watching your own scariest moment of your life. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. This is weird to watch over and over again, over and over and over.
Over and over and over.
Just watch yourself being scared on repeat.
And again.
Exactly.
And again.
That's what editing is. Just watching it over and over and over.
Was it weird then? Is it like, I don't know, because like for us, at least for me when I'm editing, there's like certain points where I'm like, ew, I hate my voice right here. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, definitely. Where, I'm like, oh, is that how I act? Is that how I am? Why is my mouth always open? Conna, close your mouth.
Oh.
Basically, or, things like that. For sure. There's a moment where you look at yourself and you're like, ugh, what's going on here?
Like, damn it.
You're like, is that how people actually perceive me?
I think that's normal. I think that's okay. Just as long as I actually think it's actually pretty healthy. I think a lot of people would probably benefit from watching themselves live straight up.
Yeah.
Just as long as you don't get too in your head about it. But
Yeah.
you learn things about yourself. You're like, oh, interesting. I typically react like this in this type of situation or vice versa.
Helps you grow a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Or it's totally detrimental to your mental health.
That's true.
Is that true about me?
Had to do it.
Yeah.
Had to be the one.
I was just about to say, I was thinking along those lines.
Yeah, so far, it hasn't been detrimental. I feel like I actually got a pretty good back to the short films thing. That's what I did all of high school, and that was like probably like one of the best things for me was like after a couple of years of doing that, I got to look back when I was still like only 18 or 19 years old, but I got to look back and see how 16, 17-year-old me acted, and I was like, oh, that's weird. That's freaking strange. This is a weird, awkward human being, and I was still awkward, but it definitely I don't know, it shapes a little bit of how you act.
It does. I agree.
And confirm. Oh boy. We really just put ourselves out there. It's
Yeah, we
such
did.
a weird thing.
So thank you so much for listening to Fear Babes. It's been great. The elephant conversation was wild. Hopefully, that made the cut. The conversation about how, number 12 was a sacred number. I hope that made the cut too, because that was life-changing. And overall, the sponsor. What was our sponsor again, Berg?
Wendy's.
All right.
Your mom.
I was like, I froze. I froze under pressure.
So shout out to
I
Wendy's.
found out.
Yeah, 4 for 4 special. Pretty sure you can get a free Frosty at some point today or something like that. Just use code BABE in your checkout and you'll get something. What are they going to give you, Jay? Come on.
A butthole antenna. In your kid's meal.
You get a butthole antenna inserted into your kid's meal.
Oh no. Bad.
So that's only if you use the word or the code BABE upon checkout. Shout out to Wendy's. Shout out to the dinosaurs. I think that's pretty much the outro, right? That's like normal outro.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
But wait, I have more. I don't have more.
If you order in the next 20 minutes, we'll throw in 2 butthole antennas.
We're gonna double
A
order.
lot of damage.
We are doubling your order if you order in the next 10 minutes. And if you order the next 5 minutes, you are getting a crisp high five.
from Alex. He will personally show up to your house and high five you.
Yeah, no, it's
Alex
true.
specifically.
That
Yep.
part's true. That's the truth.
Yep. Connor will ship him right to you. Perfect.
It's the only way he can get his lungs back.
Do
Man a favor.
They were removed, unfortunately.
Damn. Well, Connor, it's been great talking to you. Thank you for coming on and joining us, the most famous person we'll ever talk to.
Oh man, thank you guys. Seriously, I love listening to you guys. You guys are so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got to
course.
get you back on because we never asked you any of our questions we had, which is not a bad thing. I enjoyed this very, very much.
This was great. Yes.
I did as well. It was super fun. Yeah, next podcast we're gonna do it live. Me, Fear Babes. We're gonna be live from Portage. We're gonna be
Connor will be
Fortune
eating
cookie.
get ready for that.
Hope we get a fortune.
You might not though, because literally Dakota didn't.
That's depressing for him.
Yeah, I know. So.
and we're back to being mean to Dakota. Let's fucking go.
Let's go, brother. Screw that guy.
So that is it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to our conversation with Conna. Shout out to Conna. Thank you for coming on the pod.
Kramer's It's
Woo.
Kramer. Are you making bird sounds with his name, even though he really hates burbs?
That's what I was about to say.
What's your beef with birds, bro?
Join us next week for I don't know what the fuck we're doing next week, but we'll figure it out. You'll find out. It'll be fine, right? Right? Okay, cool. Moving on.
They come into this and they don't know what the hell's gonna happen anyway, so it's not like giving them a heads up is gonna help.
True.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think
myself echo.
does it sound weird?
Yeah.
I just feel like whatever we're doing next week is going to be really fucking cool.
Is it?
Wink, wink.
I don't know if it is.
It might be disappointing.
I get it.
We'll find out.
It's because
Stay tuned. ...
Dot.
Bye, babes. Bye, babes.
Bye, babes. Goodbye, babes.
You're welcome.
Honestly, what the fuck?
boom, nailed it.